Well, joining us from Washington, D.C. is the president and founder of the Elephant Project, Dane Waters. Thank you very much indeed for being with us. So what do you make of this call to the EU to stop its ivory trade? How much difference would that make?
Well, I think it'd make a tremendous amount of difference. I mean, it's amazing that you think about these African leaders, 20 years ago would never have done something like this, but it's amazing that they're actually calling on the European Union to take action. And I believe the European Union, who has traditionally been very supportive of animal welfare and conservation efforts, I think that they will heed this call. At least I'm very optimistic that they will heed this call and take action.
And what about, I mean, we just said just now that part of the problem is the trade with Asia. How big a trade is there in Europe? Give us an idea of the scale of it.
Well, I think, outside of China and the United States, the trade in ivory, of course, is the largest in the European Union. One of the problems we have in the European Union is the fact that, if you have 2 or 3 of the member states that are pushing back, it's very difficult for the European Union to take action. However, with the Chinese ban and with the additional support of the United States, barring what Donald Trump is doing, I do believe the European Union will follow suit and take action. And if we shut down the European Union market, we shut down the Chinese market, then I think that will go a long way into ending poaching throughout Africa and Asia. You mentioned briefly that President Trump there, that it's the president of Botswana who's criticised Trump for what he said was encouraging poaching. Tell us a bit about what that's about and how significant is it to have an African leader criticising Trump on this? Is that going to make any difference? Well, I think, listen, Donald Trump, his behavior on this issue has been reprehensible. I mean, the Department of Interior decided to allow the import of elephant trophies into the United States, and we were very optimistic about 3 months ago when Donald Trump said that behavior was wrong, and he suspended that decision by the Department of Interior. But now they've come out, and Donald Trump once again says, okay, I will now allow for the import of those elephant trophies. We should applaud the president of Botswana and what he's doing, but what Donald Trump is doing is reprehensible. He wants to make America great again. He keeps talking about that, but America has always been a leader in the anti-ivory trade. In 1989, one of our board members, Connie Harriman, was key in the development of the CITES Treaty on banning ivory. But what Donald Trump has done is he has set back the protection of elephants more than any other leader in this world, as far as I'm concerned. And in terms of the practicalities of protecting elephants, what kind of things make the biggest difference? What's your organisation doing that can help to protect them? Well, there's several things that has to happen. First is to diminish the markets, which is happening in China and hopefully throughout the European Union. That's number one. Number two, increase awareness. And the fact that you have over 30 presidents and nations in Africa that are coming out and saying, listen, this must stop, will raise awareness, which will go a long way into helping stop the ivory trade. The third thing is also protecting those elephants that that currently have no protection. You look at it's not just Africa, by the way. Asia has a very their population is down to 50,000 elephants, and they need protection as well. And once again, it's not just ivory. In Asia, what you're seeing is that the skins and the hides are being used for medicinal purposes. So we have to look not just at the ivory issue, we have to look at that as well. And then the fourth thing is actually shutting down the ports. For example, we're doing a lot of work in Nigeria. Lagos has become one of the largest exporters of illegal ivory in the world. So shutting down the export, the ability of all of these terrorists to export the ivory. And the fourth thing is to find long-term funding solutions, which we're working on for elephant conservation and protection efforts around the world. Dane Waters from the Elephant Project, thank you very much for joining us. Thank you. Thank you for having me today.